welcome back. Today we're looking at Signs and Wonders, episode 9 of season 7. Premiering January 23rd, 2000, Signs and Wonders has Mulder and Scully investigating the death of a man who may have been killed by snakes. Wouldn't exactly be the first time that's happened on this show. The episode begins and it's a dark and stormy night. Can horrific things ever just happen on a nice sunny day for once? Medical test? Poor guy looks like he failed. Sorry bud, but there's only room for one medical doctor on this show. Seems like Jared's got himself a little girlfriend. But who the hell is that? Oh, never mind, it must have been the wind. Now, I'm no snake expert, but do the rattles shake on their own? I feel like it needs the rest of the snake, no? Jared sure seems like he's off in a hurry for some reason. Alright, relax, they're just snakes. I used to go in the bush and catch them every weekend when I was a kid. Anyways, this snake incident seems to be enough to get Mulder and Scully involved. Tracy Middendorf? Any relation to Ganondorf?
Snakes.
Lots and lots of snakes.
She seems shocked to find him watching snakes, and not something of the more adult variety, if you catch my drift. Alright, so Jared's looked better. Apparently he got bit by roughly 50 snakes, but that's nonsense. There was like 7 at most. Mulder thinks the snakes were used as a murder weapon, but unless it's Snake Man from Mega Man 3, I highly doubt it. In the meantime, Jared's lady Gracie seems to be taking his death fairly hard. Either that or she's upset he failed his medical test.
Jared is in a better place now, Gracie. He's at peace.
I mean, you don't really know that, Reverend Mackey. Maybe he was an awful person and he's burning in hell. Mulder and Scully arrive, completely mogging these backwards hillbillies.
Our church is founded on acceptance and tolerance of all people, all beliefs.
But?
Yeah, except those pesky Girl Scouts. Damn them and their tasty Thin Mints. The Reverend seems to have an issue with the congregation Jared and his girlfriend Gracie left, the Church of God with Signs and Wonders. Basically a radical group of snake handlers, which it's starting to make sense why Jared was killed. He doesn't outright say they're responsible, but Mulder and Scully decide to check them out regardless.
Snake handling. Didn't learn that in catechism class.
That's funny. I knew a couple of Catholic schoolgirls who were expert at it.
Do you get it? He's talking about a penis. The door seems to be open, which obviously means FBI, please walk in.
What right are you here?
Imagine you come home and find a couple strangers pointing guns at your pets. I'd be pretty pissed off too. Mulder and Scully begged the Reverend to do something with the snakes, but you broke into their house? You know, this sort of reminds me of the episode of Cops with the voodoo snake charmer man.
No, I'm serious. I don't like snakes.
I will protect you.
The agents ask Reverend Enoch about former congregation member Jared and his mysterious death. The Reverend's just like, it was clearly a test, and get the hell out. Meanwhile, at the much friendlier and less snake-infested church, Iris Finster has some secrets to tell Reverend Mackey. She explains Jared called Gracie the night he was murdered, going off about seeing the devil or something. What I want to know is, who the hell is Iris Finster in relation to Gracie? She feels like the church gossip.
God hates the lukewarm.
So, because you are lukewarm, I am about to spit you out of my mouth.
I love the comparison between the two churches. You've got Enoch's, which is played off like some real Wrath of God type stuff, and then Mackey's, which has the typical love everyone kind of stuff. I know which one I'd belong to. See, this is why you don't buy off-brand staple removers. Also, I might need to get my eyes checked because I thought she was covered in tattoos at first. Oh no, it got the cameraman. I thought the cameraman was always supposed to live. Reverend Mackey tells Mulder what he and Iris spoke about before she died. But what I'd like to know is why don't they suspect Gracie? She's been connected to everyone who's died so far. The agents question Gracie, believing Reverend Enoch has something to do with this. But Gracie's like, a man didn't do it, it was Satan. The look on Scully's face is basically everyone's in this moment.
He couldn't have done this, he just couldn't.
O'Connor is your father.
Oh my god, Reverend Enoch is her dad? No wonder he wanted Jared dead. Getting pregnant out of wedlock? That clearly warrants murder. The agents once again decide to break into the church, but I do like how Scully's wizened up and she's like, maybe I'll go look around back. Mulder notices a wall of former members, including Enoch's wife, who's been rather absent all episode. Scully discovers a creepy old trailer that might as well have a sign that says, "Spooky shenanigans going on inside."
Let her go!
Get your damn hands off her, you slimy Slytherin. Good lord, I thought she was about to be snaped. Enoch seems to think a few little snake bites would have done Scully some good. What would really do her some good though is going back to her season 4 haircut. Mulder thinks Enoch killed his wife in the same manner he was about to attack Scully. But Enoch just keeps attacking Mulder's education, like he might have some fancy book learning, but he don't know shit. Does Gracie ever not look traumatized? Despite Enoch nearly using Scully to milk his snakes, Gracie doesn't seem to think he's killed anyone, which would be quite the twist if it were true. In the meantime, Enoch is visited by the snakes of Christmas past. Jeez, God must really be testing him, right? Mulder thinks he did this to himself, but how the hell do you sneak that many snakes into jail?
What about anti-venom treatment?
He's not receiving it.
Why not?
Gracie stepped in. She's trying to forbid treatment on religious grounds. It's not clear whether she has a legal claim to do it, but she says that it's up to God as to whether he lives or dies.
Holy hell, this religion is hardcore. Scully offers up another theory that Gracie set the snakes loose upon her father, which would make sense after he killed her boyfriend. The agents check out Jared's place, but I don't remember Frankenstein being part of his religion, though I would join a Frankenstein religion.
You're saying that you, Fox Mulder, would welcome someone telling you what to believe?
I'm just saying that somebody offering you all the answers could be a very powerful thing.
Yeah, Fox Mulder is definitely the kind of guy that loves being told what to do or what to believe. Mulder finds Jared's failed medical test, which I guess I was wrong, because it actually says he's infertile. Silly me, I thought he was trying to be a doctor. But wait, if he's infertile, how is Gracie pregnant? That two-timing hussy. Gracie visits with her father, who's not looking so hot, but that's okay, Reverend Mackey is there to make her feel better.
This is what he'd want.
He may die without medical treatment.
I've seen him bit a dozen times.
Yeah, but you've never seen him bit a dozen times at once. Reverend Mackey tries to talk some sense into her and he's like, sure, we should trust in God, but maybe we should also trust in doctors? Who needs doctors though when the power of Christ is enough to remove snake venom? Also gross. The agents arrive to find Enoch and Gracie are missing.
Jared Chirp wasn't the father of Gracie's child.
We know that. What about it?
Enoch O'Connor is.
I thought this episode took place in Tennessee, not Alabama. Please someone tell me the Peacocks didn't relocate here too? Wow, seems like quite the shindig for some very, very close family. Gracie gets baptized, I guess? Though I would have assumed she already would have been. There seems to be an issue with her baby. I mean like a real big issue. It looks like she's about to give birth to the xenomorph.
Dear Jesus, holy Jesus, hallelujah.
Good lord! Look, there's been some disgusting things in this show, but giving birth to snakes is right up there with some of the worst. The agents arrived to find Gracie, who's not doing so well, but does anyone here know she just gave birth to snakes? Scully, you're the medical doctor. Get up in there and find out how this happened. Everybody seems to be tight-lipped about what happened, but these disgusting blood trails sure paint a horrifying picture.
She gave birth to snakes?
Well, that's a yes if I ever heard one. Reverend Mackey is preparing for his church, which definitely doesn't have women birthing snakes, but, well, this is kind of awkward.
Drop the knife!
I don't know why, but the way he falls just cracks me up. Gracie comes to and tells Scully her father saved her. Does she not realize snakes just slithered out of her? Like, that's not normal. Mackie goes to call for an ambulance since Mulder is such a crack shot and only got Enoch in the shoulder.
I told you, boy. You still don't know which side you're on. Be smart. Down here.
And that's literally all it took for Mulder to realize that the real monster is Reverend Mackey. Mackey killed Jared, he killed Iris, and he got Gracie pregnant. Though I don't really want to know how this unholy insemination took place. Also, why does Mulder allow Mackey to give his villain monologue? Just shoot him already. Oh great, now we've got Poltergeist too? Mulder gets surrounded by ones of snakes. But they're just snakes, man. Just give them a good smack.
You can help him. This is his alone.
The f*** it is? Do you not know who Scully is? She's God's chosen warrior. If anyone is meant to fight this guy, it's her. Oh no, Mulder keeps getting attacked by the puppet snakes from Friday the 13th Part 3. Scully arrives just in time to watch as the last of the snakes leaves through the back door. But since one of these snakes needed doors before, Mackey has somehow escaped, but Mulder looks a hell of a lot better after his bites than Enoch did. Mackey ends up at another congregation, but couldn't the FBI put out posters with his picture on them? This isn't like the last time where the demon devil guy could face swap. Was that really necessary? Signs and Wonders is an alright episode, though it falls into the same trap a lot of the religious-themed episodes do, where they have a decent premise, but ultimately it doesn't live up to it. Though I will say the scene where Gracie gives birth to the snakes is one of the grossest scenes in the series. I do like the twist at the end where the father actually turns out to be the righteous man, whereas the man we were led to believe was the good one was actually demonic, or maybe the devil. Also, how they play at both churches was a good way of setting up this misdirection. I mean, you look at the snake handlers and you're like, these people are nuts. It is interesting how despite this one being a religion-themed episode, Scully was almost pushed to the side in favor of Mulder. Like it was his faith that was being tested in the episode. Maybe it would have been too cliche for Scully to be up front and center in this one, but she also can't die, so there's that as well. The episode was written by Jeffrey Bell, who isn't exactly one of the better writers on the show. Bell wanted to write a story that was just straight up scary. Something that would take the concepts of snake handling and religious extremism, but with the twist that the snake handlers that we're led to believe are the bad guys are in fact the good guys. Kind of. According to Bell, the way the shows usually work out, Mulder is the one to figure out who the bad guys are. So I went into the story meeting with the idea of having Mulder being wrong. Because Mulder believes so strong it's the other guy, it helped hide the true identity of the bad guy from the audience. I think what he intended works to an extent, however the way in which Mulder realizes that Mackey was the villain all along sort of comes out of nowhere. I mean, Enoch basically just looks at him and is like, you know deep down what to be true, boy. One of the bigger issues with the episode was how most of the cast and crew were a bit iffy on the real snakes. David himself actually straight up hated them. When it came time for the climax with Mulder surrounded by snakes, a stunt double was used because he wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. Though clearly he had no issue with the rubber snakes, which makes sense as they're generally less bitey. Some of David's fears would come to light when one of the rattlesnakes escaped from its enclosure and could not be found. Eventually it was discovered in Kim Anner's office, but that incident would lead to the snakes having their mouths sealed shut with sutures. How the hell is that okay? As a big snake lover, I find it kind of messed up that they would sew a snake's mouth shut. Unless I've misunderstood this and it's really not that bad, I don't know, but it honestly sounds like the snakes were abused for absolutely no reason. If you're that worried they might harm someone, then don't use them. Just use some non-venomous snakes like pythons. Honestly, this bit of trivia kind of pissed me off. Luckily, no one was hurt during filming, but that should be obvious since the snakes couldn't even open their mouths. What's interesting though is actor Michael Childers, who played Reverend Enoch, actually came from a family of religious snake handlers, so this kind of environment was something he was used to. When he was hired for the role though, no one knew this about him. It was just a complete coincidence that the man hired to play a snake preacher grew up with a father who was one. This episode would also be the TV debut of Eric Nenninger, who I think most people my age would likely remember from Malcolm in the Middle, but what's kind of funny is this episode is his TV acting debut, and just a few days ago I released a video on the Jeepers Creepers movies, and Jeepers Creepers 2 was his movie acting debut. I swear to God this wasn't intentional. Tracy Middendorf, who played Gracie, also has something of a history within the horror genre, playing babysitter Julie in the fantastic Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Don't stop it, you're scaring me.
She also appeared in an episode of Millennium, where she escapes a psych ward, seduces this cop who thinks she's a victim of some grand conspiracy, and then by the end of it, she's holding his decapitated head. Signs and Wonders currently sits at 6.5 on IMDb, and while I think it's a fine episode with some fairly gross moments, it's still nothing special, so I think a 6 is what I'd give it. Up next, Mulder and Scully investigate the strange disappearance of a little girl, and Mulder believes it has something to do with his sister, in the episode Sein und Zeit. So what do you think about Signs and Wonders? Let me know down below. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you have a great weekend and stay spooky.
It frightened you before.
Why would anybody use poisonous snakes as a murder weapon?
But nothing
This is Satan's work, not man's.
can prepare you for this.
He must be judged.
Hang on.
Mulder?
The X-Files. An all-new episode Sunday at 9 on Fox.
Huge thanks to all my channel members. You're the real MVPs of the Spooky Squad. Your support helps keep the lights flickering and the monsters fed. If you'd like to join up and help support the channel, check out the join button below. But no pressure, just watching and liking helps a ton too.